Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to definitely the last video on Project Minty. As you know, from the MOT we had two advisories. Those advisories were front and bottom, left and right, bottom arm ball joints, slight play. Came out on an advisory. They're not expensive, they're less than 50 quid. Not my favourite job, and of course I've got to take the damn bumper off, but I thought I'd get them done. So let's go and let's get these done, and then hopefully we'll get this car finished today. As well as those bottom arms, of course, we've got to do that little air vent thing as well, which I've got one in the back of the garage somewhere, so we'll sort that out. I think that was it. I think that was all. We've created a new key, so we've got two keys for it. Yeah, that is it. That's all we got to do. And then we're still waiting for the logbook to come back. That's why there's been no rush. And it's potentially going to pour with rain this afternoon. So I'm not going to put the gazebo up today, but yeah, if it does, it's not the end of the world. If I won't be doing it tomorrow because I'm doing some DIY tomorrow, but I'm off on Monday, so if it comes to it, I'll have to finish it off on Monday. But until that logbook comes back, I can't sell the car anyway. So I think it would have been, I'm not sure, I think I sent it off on the 1st or the 2nd of the month, and today is the 17th or 18th, so we're approaching 3 weeks now since I sent it off. So I was hoping it might come back this week. Every day I go onto .gov and have a look to see if the logbook says it's been issued. Normally it gets updated before you receive it, but sometimes it does seem to get updated the day after you receive it. So but I always check back every day to see, and it still says July, 15th of July, whatever it was in 2021, which was the last time it was issued. So I'm just looking for that letter coming through the door every day, but we've got to get this done. So I'm going to set you up on time lapse, at least for the first side. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. I hate this job, but I'd like to get rid of these advisories if you can, especially with things like the bottom arms. Let's do it. Let's get the bumper off and let's get this first one done. That was a job and a half. I don't know if you noticed on time lapse, I was actually doing it wrong. I was putting, so I broke this, so I've used that 2 or 3 times, hitting it with a hammer. There's a bit of rust in there as well. It didn't like that, so I'm gonna have to get a new one of those, because that's much better than using the ball joint splitter, I find. I couldn't get the socket on there underneath, but I don't know if you noticed that I was actually putting the jaws of that on the actual ball joint itself, not on the top of there, so of course it wasn't compressing it down. So I was doing that up from above, not from below. So that was my stupid fault for doing it wrong. But I finally got it out. What a pain in the arse that was. Oh my God. I haven't done one of these for a while actually, and I not forgot, but I'm a bit rusty on it. A bit like the car really. No, it's not rusty. Yeah. So let me just, I mean, some of the damage gets caused to the ball joint when you actually take it out, but I mean, it's not, I think probably that damage is probably what I just done. That didn't come up on the MOT, but they just said there was movement in it. So the others look okay. Don't actually look like the originals, you know. Not sure if they are, but they look pretty good. But it was that one that come up. I don't know if that's the one that wears more. I suppose that one's got like a what do you call it, like a pivoting movement, hasn't it, rather where the others just sit in there. So that's probably why that one wears quicker, I expect. But God, job and a half. It's been raining as well during it, as you can see from the ground being wet. I'm expecting forgotten what the name of the car was now. One of the cars I sold back in August. I'm expecting the girl coming back. It was a stolen recovered, the White Lounge. She sent me a video. She's got a strange noise when she's just going along. It sounds like a rubbing noise of some sort. So she's bringing it round any minute now for me to have a look at. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to identify where it's coming from. It might need to go up on ramps, I think. But we'll have a go. We'll have a listen. See if we can figure it out. Right, so I'm going to put the new one in. I'll do it again, or I'll do it on time lapse. I'll get some washing up liquid and put in there to lube it up, because they're always a pain to get in, aren't we, as we know. And hopefully it will go back in. Normally, I mean, they are sometimes a job to get out, but sometimes it wouldn't have been quite such a job if I hadn't been doing it wrong. But they are often tricky to get in. You've got to get the back in first, then the front, then the ball joint. So yeah, let's go back onto time lapse and we'll do that. So I will see you on the other side. Hopefully it will go in smoothly, and then we can get on and do the other side before we get the awful weather this afternoon. So ideally I want to try and get both sides done today. That's it, done. That was a job and a half, actually, you know. Didn't enjoy that. Don't like doing them at the best of times, but that one was particularly difficult. I'm always scared of rounding that bolt off, and I didn't actually have, I don't know if we can get in here, where that protrudes. I'm not sure whether I'm pointing the camera at it, hopefully I am, where the end of the ball joint bit protrudes. I was doing it up and it wasn't protruding properly. And then, of course, when you put the bolt through, the bolt's not holding it in position. So I took it out again. But there's always, because that's very tight, there's a combination of, there seems to be a combination of banging it through and driving it in. Then the battery ran out on me impact wrench. But I managed to get it done up with spanners in the end. But yeah, it was a pain in the arse, that one. So at least that's one done. One down, one to go. I'm doing it in the rain, but I'm going to persevere. I'm just going to get all the bits back on, and then I'm going to persevere with doing the other side. So I won't feel. I'm just going to put the brace back in, put that back in, and so on. And then we can. I'm going to go and have some lunch because I'm starving, and then we can. I don't know where these have gone. I'm sure both of these were in position when it went for its MOT, or when it went for the tyres, and now, unless both sides have dropped out, they've both disappeared, which is really strange. Either someone's stolen them or they have fallen out. I'm hoping I've got some. If not, I'll have to take them off one of the other cars. But yeah, that's a bit annoying. I did order some from AliExpress months ago, and they've not arrived. And I sent them a message on AliExpress, and they said they've got seized at customs. I bought 10 of them. Why? Why would they get seized at customs? Is it like a bloody black plastic? That's stupid. Anyway, let's get on. We'll come back. I'm not going to film the other side. I'm just going to get on and do it. And then we will... that'll be it then on that bit. And then hopefully we'll still have time. Even though it's raining. I'm wet now, so it doesn't really matter, does it? We'll do that thing over there. And then that'll be done. The car will be finished once that's done. Let's just hope I don't strip that bolt on the other side. Yeah, right, okay, let's just get this back on, get the wheel back on, get it down, and then we'll do the other side. So I will see you once I've done the other side. Wish me luck. Well, what a day that was. Oh my God, that has got to be the worst day in all the years I've been doing this. I had the umbrella up. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I had my old garden umbrella up over here, trying to keep dry, but the nature of changing a bottom arm means you have to lie on the floor, and I have literally been lying in pools of water. I am you probably can't see from this, but let me show you. Let me turn the camera around. I am absolutely soaked. Look at my hood. My hood should be at the back. It is so sodden. It's just I'm absolutely soaked through to the skin. Even my fingers look like I've been in a bath. Oh my God, what a day. I can't wait to get in, get dried off, put on some dry clothes and sit down and have a cup of coffee. Oh my God. So, it's done at last. I just, my wife just came out a few minutes ago and said, "Are you mad?" And I think I must be. I just wanted to get this done today. You know, these were advisories that I didn't even need to do. I think my face is covered in grease as well, isn't it? Trouble, you push your glasses up on your face and you end up... Mind you, I had gloves on. Oh yeah, of course I had greasy gloves. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so I didn't even necessarily need to do this. I can't believe the state of me. But it had to be done. I like to do these advisories, and unfortunately, you know, fortunately for me, I've got a driveway that I can do it on. Unfortunately, I've only got a driveway. I can't do it in the garage. I have got a gazebo. I could have set... it's even hairy. I could have set my gazebo up, but I didn't know it was going to rain quite as much as this. But it's been pretty much going all day, ever since I started, pretty much. But it's done. It is done. Bumper's back on, as you saw. Everything's buttoned up. So I've got one thing. My feet are squelching in my shoes. I've got one thing left to do, and that's that air vent. And then it's just a matter of... Oh, I still got to put the new number plates on, but obviously I can't do that in this sort of weather. My neighbour's parked there now, so I can't move the car out and get the BMW back down the drive, but we'll do that later on. Yeah, it's done now, apart from that air vent thing. So as soon as that logbook comes, we'll get it advertised. I might even advertise it beforehand, actually. Once I've done that thing, that air vent, and I know everything is all finished. I did want to check that carpet in the back. I know some of you said use a dehumidifier. I haven't actually got one. I should get one, actually. And I did want to try and freshen it up a little bit as well in there. But obviously I can't do any of that sort of stuff when it's raining like this. I was going to use my fogger machine. Oh God, I'm so wet. I was going to use my fogger machine and give it a nice smell and what have you. It's not musty in there. It's just, I don't know. Just wanted to freshen it up. Yeah, I am going to get a heater in there as well. And I just want to feel that carpet. As far as I know, I mean, the car hasn't been steaming up overnight or anything like that. And I think it's all right. But I just want to double check that. And if not, I'll get a heater in there. I will invest in a dehumidifier actually, because now winter's on the way and we're going to have weather like this, and I'll be cleaning seats and putting them in the conservatory to dry. You know, when I'm cleaning carpets and what have you, in the winter it just ain't going to dry. So I will get a dehumidifier. Yeah, got to get one. Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to go and get dried off and have a cup of coffee. I've got to find those two DRL covers as well. I think I might have some knocking around, hopefully. If not, I'll have to get some. No, I'll steal some from one of my other cars, and then I'll buy some for those. That's it then. Okay, so we'll see you. I don't know when it'll be. Might be tomorrow, depending on the weather. Although I am doing some decorating tomorrow in the dry. I think it's meant to be like this all day tomorrow. Actually, there's a bit of a severe weather warning. That should have been a warning to me, shouldn't it? Really? Oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable. But it's done. Thank God for that. Anyway, yes, so enough of this waffling, enough of me moaning about being soaking wet and freezing cold. I'll see you either tomorrow or whenever, when we get this final finished and up for sale. So I'll see you then. This is my neighbour's cleaner's car. You may have seen it parked up on the top of the drive in the background sometimes on a Monday. She'd asked me to service it. I don't normally do this, but as it was my next door neighbour's cleaner, I thought I'd do it for her. So I've just given it a service. It'd been standing around for 2 years apparently. Oil and filters, checked all the fluids, topped them all up. Yeah, so it was all right actually. Absolutely filthy, so I've decided to clean it as well. So I've checked all the tyres, done a proper service report. That's how dirty it is. Look at that. Look at that. So I've just gone over it with the old citrus wash. It's really dirty. So I'm not going to bucket and sponge it. I'm going to citrus wash it and then snow foam it and then dry it. I'm not going to go over the top. It's not like I'm charging to do this. I'm just doing it because I don't like dirty cars. But yeah, before we carry on with the other car, the Minty, which I keep calling Bluey in the last video, don't I? Don't know why. I think because my folder on my computer of all the video files, I called it Tooo Blue rather than Tooo Minty, and I've never changed it, and I keep seeing it as blue, so I keep calling it Bluey. But it's not, it's Minty. Anyway, let's get this one clean and eventually today we'll get on with the Minty car. Morning, welcome back. It's been a few days. It has been getting on, well, week and a half, something like that, since I've touched this. As you know, MOT's done. The car is, to all intents and purposes, done, ready to go. Person has been to look at it, who contacted me the day after I got it. I haven't taken them for a drive because I was working on that day, but they're having it for the agreed price. And I've got to finish it off. I've got that little thing to do on the dash. Now also, something else came to light as well, and I'll explain to you what that was. But I want to try and get it finished today. Today's Halloween, and I need to set up a gazebo on my driveway for the kids for later, with lots of sweets and lights and stuff like that. So I want to try and get this done. We are mid to late morning now. I'm not quite sure what the time is, but it's probably around 11 o'clock-ish. So I need to get on with it. I want to get it, ideally I want to get it finished today, but I am going to try something else first. I've also got a DRL bulb which is playing up as well, which is typical as I've had the bumper off. I need to change that. So, and then it needs clean up, but I can do that Friday. It's not a problem as such. I just need to give it another quick clean on the inside and another going over on the outside as well, just to get it done. And then with a bit of luck, this will be gone by the weekend, with a bit of luck. But yeah, so video-wise, as you know, from the regular followers, you know I didn't post a video last week, Wednesday or Sunday. The reason for that was I had this partially in the can, so to speak, and I also had some other stuff in the can as well, but nothing enough for a video. And this one, I wanted to do this to be the last video, excuse me, on this car. I've got a stinking cold, as you can hear, which is coming to the end now. Yesterday I took the 500X to Bristol to deliver it, so that's sold, gone. And I've been doing decorating. I did my wallpapering, as you know, in the conservatory. I've been doing work in the kitchen because we're having a new fridge freezer delivered today. That's something else that's happening today. It's just things have taken over and I just didn't have time to do a video for Wednesday or for Sunday. Now I'm back on it, still feeling pretty in my head due to the cold, but I want to try and get this done today. So hopefully you'll see this video either tomorrow, being Wednesday, or Sunday, one or the other. But yeah, let's get on with it and I'll show you what else it is we have to do. Right, third time lucky. I've recorded this bit twice already and I seem to have a problem with my camera. It keeps going off. Okay, let's start again. Right, so this wheel, every time I record this, it's getting a little bit shorter. This wheel, when I first got the car, had an issue where one of the wheel nuts wasn't done up very tight. When I took it to have the new tyres on the day of the MOT, they said they had trouble getting one of the wheel nuts done up. And with these wheels, with the old style wheels, the old style alloys, you've got the two pins on the actual brake disc that go through holes on the wheel, so you can't mislocate it. With these, you've just got an extra groove in the back, and so it's easy to put the wheel on. It goes on, but they're not lined up properly. If you then use a gun to do the wheel nuts up, if it's misaligned, you're going to mess up the thread, and I think that's what's happened on here. So I'm going to try and re-tap it if I can. I have got a tap and die set. I'm going to try and re-tap it. I'm not sure whether it's going to work or not, but if it doesn't, I've bought a new one, or second-hand one from Club 500. So yeah, so you've got your little things that go in there on the disc. Obviously the disc is on, and then yeah, so one of these threads needs, hopefully I can re-tap it, but I won't know until I try it, of course. But I'm going to give it a go. Failing that, you know, I've already done the bottom arm, so this has already been taken off. Obviously we'll have to take the steering arm off, and obviously I've got this up the wrong way, and then obviously you have to take the bolts off on the shock, and I may have to get the tracking done possibly, which would be a nuisance. But I'm going to try re-tapping it first. If that works, then all good. But if not, then we'll change that. Right, camera doesn't seem to have blown out this time, so hopefully we're all right. So I'm going to get it up in the air yet again, get this wheel off, and have a go and see if we can re-tap it. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, I think I've done it. So I've used the old thing on the power drill. I didn't think it had worked, but what I've done is I've got the wheel nuts and I've put them each one in, and they seem to be going in, and it was definitely that one, but they're all going in. Now whether that's going to be the same when the wheel's on or not, obviously they don't go in quite so far when the wheel's on, but they are going in all the way nicely with no effort. So I'm hoping I've done it, because I really didn't want to have to do this, because bearing in mind I've got a lot to do. I've lost time doing this, and I just want to get it done. Logbook's come back, by the way. It came back a couple of days ago, so I've got the service history to chase up on this as well yet. So if this is going to work, I'm praying that this is going to work. Fingers crossed it does, and that way I've not got to change that hub. I'll keep the hub, because at some point in the future I will obviously need to change one. You know, they can get bent sometimes, but let's try it. Let's get the wheel back on, and I'll do the wheel nuts up and see what happens. Wish me luck. Before I put it on, see what I mean? So on the other wheels, on the old style wheels, you've actually got a hole there, which it goes through to locate onto those. But these just go in a slot, one of the 4 slots. So as much as you know, you try and line it up. Before you put any wheel nuts back in, you need to sort of get down level with it and look. And also, put them in by hand first. And if they don't go in by hand first, then you know they're dodgy. Oh, I'm so nervous about this now. I really don't want to change this hub today. I feel horrible still with this cold. I just want this car done and finished now. Right, let's get the wheel on and let's give it a go. No, it didn't work. It's really strange. It's almost like if I had longer wheel nuts, it would work. If I put the wheel nuts in, they go in fine. If I put the wheel on and then put the wheel nut in, it just spins. So it's like it's not reaching enough thread to hold it in tight. I'm not even sure which one it is now. It might be that. I can't remember. It's really weird. But anyway, I've come to the conclusion I can't get out of doing it. I'm going to have to do it. So what I've done is I've heated this up. I've pushed the tabs up with a couple of screwdrivers. My daughter just came out and sat in the car, put her foot on the brake, and I managed with the breaker bar. It came undone relatively easily. So now, for those who don't know, what I've got to do is I've got to undo these bolts. I've got to undo that. I'll use the breaker bar for that, and I've got to undo the one on the bottom arm, which obviously should come undone quite easily because I did it the other day. And of course I've got to take the disc off and take that off. Once I've got all of those off, so this is loosened enough for me to just turn it. So once I've got those off, we can then take the hub off. So I'm going to do this on time lapse, I think. I'll stick the camera up on time lapse and hopefully it will go smoothly and I won't have any problems. It's a nuisance having to do this, but you know, it needed to be done, didn't it? If I can't get the things to do, and what I'll do is I'll replace these as well. I've got loads of these, but so I will replace them all. I've got to find them, but I've got a box load of them somewhere. But I will replace them. Oh, my hand's shaking. It's a nuisance. It's a shame I didn't do this when I did the bottom arm, because I'm just having to take off stuff that I've already taken off before. Never mind. Anyway, let's get on. We'll set you up, and then I'll see you on the other side. Struggling, or still struggling. I can't get the drive shaft out of the hub, no matter what I do. I just phoned Glenn the mechanic and asked his advice, and he said, have you got a copper hammer? And I said no. He said, yeah, you won't do it with a little hammer. He said, so what he suggested I do is put the hub nut back on and then hit it with an ordinary hammer. It's obviously to stop from damaging the actual thread on the drive shaft. So I don't want to end up pulling the drive shaft out of the gearbox, obviously. I'm a bit worried about doing that. So I'm going to try doing that. I'm going to get my big hammer out and try that. And I thought it was just going to pull off. I didn't realise it was going to be so difficult. I watched a video on YouTube, and once I've got everything all undone, it just pulled off. But this won't. So I'm going to try. If I can't do it, I'm going to have to phone Glenn and see if I can book him in to do it. But I'm going to keep persevering. As you know, I want to get this done today. So yeah, it's a bit of a disaster if I can't. So we'll see. Anyway, I will keep you informed. I'm not going to bother filming anymore. You've seen most of it on time lapse. Once I've got the damn thing off, if I get it off, we'll come back. Yeah, I've done it. I called Glenn again. I said, Glenn, you anywhere near me today? I said you could pop round and spare me 15 minutes. So he's explained it to me again. He said, heat it up. Don't heat up the actual drive shaft itself, heat up around it. He said, and then hit it on the end. See, I was hitting the back of the hub to try and pull it off, but he said, no, you've got to do it the other way and knock it through. And I've done it. It took some doing. I got it, I just hit it with a hammer, got it, it was going through, and then when it got like flush with it, I put that on it, and it went through, and it's done. Thank Christ for that. Whether I'm going to be able to get it on the new one on as easy as that or not remains to be seen. Oh, pleased with that though, really pleased. I didn't think that was going to be as difficult as that. I really didn't. And I'm also hoping that I don't have to I don't have to do the tracking. But I probably will. But we'll see. But hopefully putting the new one on will be easier than getting the old one off. So I'm not going to film it. We'll come back hopefully when I've got it done. Fingers crossed. So I'll see you on the other side. Well, not a good day. I've done it. It's all back on, as you can see. But unfortunately, I've had a bit of an issue. Well, not a bit of an issue, a lot of an issue. In my fight to get that, I'm pissed off. In my fight to get that hub off, I think because I was hitting it from behind, trying to get the hub off of the drive shaft rather than the other way around, push the drive shaft back, which I know. I wish I'd known that before. I've split the gator, and there's oil grease coming out. It's at the wheel end. Obviously, it was resting on stuff, and it's punctured it slightly. And I didn't notice that till afterwards. But to cap it all, I've put the brakes back together. I've put the brake carriers back on, and the bottom bolt I was doing up at a bit of an angle, because I couldn't get the gun in properly, and the bastard thing has sheared off. So the brake carrier is only held on by one bolt. So it's going to have to be drilled out. So I've never had an awful lot of luck. I've got stuff to take bolts out. I've never had a lot of luck doing it. So I have sent a message to my mobile. Bear in mind, I've had a bloody message while I was doing this. I've got all grease all over my face. I have, haven't I? Whilst I was doing this, I had a message from the guy who's buying this for his daughter, asking me how I was going. Not been my day today. What we're having is stinking cold, and they're trying to get this done. And yet again, I'm being it's not the person's buying it's fault. It's my fault for telling people that it'll be ready this week. I feel pressured to get it done, and I haven't. It's not like I've rushed it, but it's all gone wrong now. Apart from that, this car's ready to go, apart from a clean. So I'm just waiting for Glenn to come back to me now. When I spoke to him earlier about the drive shaft, he said, no, I'm nowhere near you today. I can't come over today. But so, which is not that I expected him to, but that was just to like get the hub off. But he's going to have a look. I think he said he'll look when he gets home, and he'll put me in as a priority and do it as soon as he can for me. Obviously, it's a little bit more involved now, but that'll take him less than an hour to do that. Probably take him 40 minutes or something to do that. But it's a bit annoying. But yeah, it's got to be done. I can't. It's the same as I couldn't let a car go with only 3 wheel nuts, which now do up lovely. I hasten to add. Yeah, it's dangerous like that. And of course, it would fail an MOT with grease coming out of the joint. So yeah, it's got to be done. It's just pain in the arse, one of those things. This is a more expensive car. It's a nice car. It's a newer car. It's got to be done, and it's got to be done properly. So I don't know when he's going to do it. So I'm going to end this video here. We'll have one more video just on the last knockings of this, and then it'll be out and it'll be gone, thankfully. But yeah. So don't forget. You can tell I'm fed up now. But if you're not a subscriber, hit that button. I don't try and hide this stuff. You know, if I do stuff wrong, I put it in the videos. We all make mistakes. We all have nuts shearing us at some point. Stupid me, I was trying to do it up too tight, I think. I should have done it up and then used the torque wrench on it to do it up to the right torque. But silly me, I was just buzzing it on, and I just did it too much and it sheared. My own stupid fault. But you know, as I say, we all do things wrong. We all make mistakes. C'est la vie. Anyway, thanks for watching as always. Don't forget, if you're not, I've already said that, yeah. Take care, stay safe, and hopefully we'll be back to normal next week. See you soon.